Great. We got us a fresh set of Legends of Runeterra spoilers for today. We've got Lissandra here. So new Freljord champion. Remember, they're not all new region cards in the set. 2/3 with tough, which means she takes 1 less damage from any damage source. When I'm summoned, summon a frozen THRALL. So which one's a frozen THRALL? Frozen THRALL is a landmark here that countdown 8 summons a Frostguard THRALL, which is an 8/8 with Overwhelm. So she comes into play on turn 3. This counts down for 8, which means you're not getting this until 11. So this is a really slow payoff. So it's probably not the reason you play it. You've summoned 2+ allies that cost 8+. When I level up, create a Watcher in hand. Is that the other one we just saw? Is Watcher a card we saw previously? Oh, Watcher. Did I not open that one? Watcher, 17 mana. I cost 0 if you've summoned 4+ allies that cost 8+ this game. Obliterate the enemy deck. You've summoned 4+ allies that cost 8+. Okay, that's a neat design. So she's self-enabling in a way because her landmark eventually gives you one of these two things. She also notably doesn't have to see this happen. So this can happen while she's in your deck. Leveled Lissandra. Your Nexus is tough. When I'm summoned, summon a frozen THRALL. Round start, create a fleeting 0-cost Ice Shard in hand. Deal 1 to everything. Okay, and she gives your Nexus tough. So the Ice Shards don't hurt her, and they don't hurt your Nexus, but they hurt everything else. All right, what's the champ spell do? Obliterate a unit and summon a frozen tomb in its place. Summon an exact copy of the obliterated unit I replaced. That doesn't seem particularly amazing. Like that seems fine. I mean, it's fine. You probably won't play this as an actual spell, but you'll be fine with it as a champion spell. So it's a 5-mana version of the 2-cost one from yesterday, but it does it for 2 turns. Yeah, I can save your own units technically too. Yeah, this is like the what's it called one from the other day. Seems like it'll be really good. That costs 2, but it's only for 1 turn. This like delays it for 2 turns technically, but yeah, I don't know. That doesn't seem super exciting. Yeah, something to note here. The caring about allies that cost 8+, someone in chat pointed out, this is going to obviously be very good with Trundle, right? Trundle summons those 8-cost Frost Pillars. So you could theoretically level Lissandra on 8 with an Ice Pillar into another 8-drop, right? It is notably summoned and not played. That is true. It is also worth noting that this summons a copy of an obliterated unit. So if you're using Frozen Tomb on one of your own expensive units, that counts towards Lissandra and the Watchers triggers happening. So this could be an okay enabler for that. Also, like, if you just play her with the new Shurima card that is 2 mana, replace something, or like hide it for a turn, that could be another quick way to summon things that cost 8+. There's the Frostguard THRALL. This notably does not have a cost on here, so this is not a card you can just put into your deck. Ice Shard is a card you can put in your deck. Dark Inquisitor. When I'm summoned, summon a frozen thrall. Round N. If the countdown of any of your frozen thralls is 4 or less, advance them to 0. Huh. Huh. That's kind of neat. And the stat line on here is like pretty impressive. And notably, this card works really well with our new champion here, Lissandra, because you could have Lissandra put a Frozen Thrall into play early and then, play this out on the turn. Lissandra's Frozen Thrall is at 4. So if you play Lissandra and get a Frozen Thrall on 3, it goes to 7 on 4, 6 on 5, 5 on 6, 4 on 7. So you could play this on 7 and get an 8/8, which seems not unreasonable. And these Frozen Thralls again play well with things that care about landmarks having come into play as well. So there's almost assuredly a Lissandra, Talia, the champion from yesterday, like a Lissandra Talia. We care about landmarks matters deck. I would venture to guess. Bladed Ravine. When I'm summoned, heal your Nexus 4, countdown 1, deal 2 to everything. Sure. This doesn't seem particularly exciting. It's like an avalanche that counts for your landmarks mattering. It technically heals your Nexus 2. Create a fleeting flash freeze, Fury in the North, or Entomb in your hand. Was Entomb? Was that this one? This card is good. This card is sweet. So this credit where credit is due. People that have followed my Runeterra content know that I really hate both Lee Sin and Fiora. And cards like this that give you flexible answers to Lee Sin and Fiora to not get savaged by them, but also aren't completely dead in a lot of other matchups are really valuable and good. So like for example, you could always play Flash Freeze against Lee Sin and Fiora, but then you have Flash Freeze in your deck against like a Nivea control, for example, or another deck where that effect's just not very good. Whereas like with Three Sisters here, I could do this. I could play 3 of these and have 3 Flash Freezes, but when they're not Flash Freezes, they get to do something else. And the fact that this is only 1 mana, it does create fleeting, so it is just like 4 mana freeze. When entombing a Fiora, reset her count. I don't know. But this I like this design a lot, and this card seems like it's going to be good. This is great. Cold Resistance. Get an empty mana gem and grant an ally to attack. Huh. This card's a big deal. So this card means that we now get to play 6 copies of 5 mana ramp. Do I have to have an ally to play this card? Does anybody know? Can I play this without giving something to defense? I don't think we can, right? You don't. It's worded like Troll Chant. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so like the fact that you don't need if you don't need an ally, this with our other, I'm blanking on the name of the other 5 mana ramp that we have, means we have to just play 6 of that effect. If you have to have an ally, Cataclysm. Yeah, Cataclysm. If you have to have an ally, this card's a little bit worse, but still probably pretty good. You have Omen Hawk and some other 1-drops that you could play, but I would venture to guess that there's going to be a ramp deck with this and the other one. But yeah, I think Thalia's been the spoiler I've liked the most so far out of the champions that we've seen, and building a Thalia and Lissandra deck sounds sweet. So good set of Freljord stuff to date. If you haven't checked out the rest of them, up on my YouTube channel in the Runeterra playlist, there is a full list of my review of all the spoilers they've been doing every single day. I'll be back to doing some Runeterra Constructed with some consistency again once the new set drops, kind of medium on the current format, hoping the new things spice things up and make it a little bit more interesting for me again. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with some Magic the Gathering, followed by Bug Snacks. And thanks for hanging out. I'll catch all of y'all later. Peace, folks.